Hello everyone and welcome to Badgeskins. My name is Peter and today we will be installing the Aerofabb Competition Series Rear Diffuser. Now, this rear diffuser is specific for the MK7 and 7.5 GTI or Golf R, and when you're on the website, be sure to select the correct one because hardware will be different. Now, I have everything on the table already, but we have an unboxing video to show you the details of what comes in the box and the whole unboxing experience, and you can check that out. We will leave the link down below in the description. So without further ado, let's hop right into the install and let's go through the tools you need and what comes in the box hardware wise. So the first thing we're gonna do is go into our install guide, and before you start the install, double check that you have all the parts here. So now that you have all of the hardware out and you confirm that everything's there, let's go over the tools that you will need for this install. Now in my case, I may need a couple different tools because I have an aftermarket exhaust on the car, but all these tools that are listed here on the install guide are for the OEM exhaust, and basically nothing's aftermarket on your rear end. Okay, so these are all the tools that you will need, and you can just follow the installation guide to see exactly what you need. We will leave a photo of the installation guide so that you can check it out and make sure you have all the tools before you do the install. Every single thing is labeled A, B, C, all the way to G. And then there will also be some Loctite. This will be blue Loctite, specifically 242. And then as well as another bag with some more hardware. This will be the spacers to adjust the height. And you got a 1/2 inch and 3/8 inch. So now that you have all of the hardware out and you confirm that everything's there, let's go over the tools that you will need for this install. Now in my case, I may need a couple different tools because I have an aftermarket exhaust on the car, but all these tools that are listed here on the install guide are for the OEM exhaust, and basically nothing's aftermarket on your rear end. So before working on the car, we're gonna have to do some pre-assembly here on the bench, and let's go through and I will show you exactly what you have to do. So we will be joining the diffuser main plane with the diffuser forward plane. So you'll start with these two pieces. We will be starting with hardware A using a 3mm hex and an 8mm wrench. Now that you have both of these pieces put together, we're gonna work on the sides. And to do that, you will need your side strake and the side plane. And it's pretty simple. You're gonna have the side strake sandwiched in between the side plane, like that. And we will be using hardware B. For the positioning of the bolt and nut, the nut is gonna be on the inside here and the bolt is gonna be on the outside here. So just be mindful of that. Now that we have this side done, we're gonna go ahead, flip this around and do the exact same process, just on the other side. Now that we have the diffuser assembled and ready to go, let's go ahead and install it onto the car. So now that we have the car up, we're going to be installing all of the mounting brackets required to hold the rear diffuser onto the vehicle. So the first step is to locate the two. These are T15 screws, and we're going to be installing these C brackets. Now these brackets are going to sit this way, and the C part is going to be facing away from the vehicle. So let's go ahead and remove the screws and install these C brackets. Okay, so the hardware now we need is from package C. A little tip when installing this bracket, what you're gonna wanna do to make life easier is the bracket's like this. And if you have an Allen key, you can go on the longer end and place it through the hole under so that when you're installing this here to help start it, you have it like this. So you're not struggling like how I did earlier and you're going like that. So just a little friendly tip, make your life easier so then when you're starting it, it's easy to twist like that. So now we're going to be taking all of the hardware that we need from package D. So now we're going to install these brackets onto the rear sway bar bushing bolt. On a side note, if you have an aftermarket sway bar installed, sometimes this bolt here is not long enough. So double check this before your installation to be sure you have enough room to install the bracket, the washer, and the nut that's in package D. Before putting the nut on, you want to apply a little bit of anti-seize so that nothing gets seized up once it's installed. Okay, so next we're going to install these side brackets here that requires us to remove the mounting bolts that hold the exhaust onto the hangers. And with these brackets, you want to make sure that you have it on the correct side because it's crucial to have the angle facing upwards towards the rear of the vehicle. Now for this part, we're going to need the hardware from package E. Okay, let's go ahead and take off the bolt. Okay, so now we're gonna put the actual diffuser on, and what I did that's not in the instructions to help me out is I actually loosened these brackets so that I have some movement to help get these lined up, and once everything's lined up, I will still have access to these bolts. Okay, so now we're gonna need the hardware from package F. Make sure everything is lined up how we like it. There's no fitment issues, nothing's touching, nothing's rubbing, and then we can go ahead and give it a final tighten up. I'm gonna go one by one and remove each screw, add some blue Loctite, and then finalize by screwing it all the way. So now that we have the diffuser mounted to the exhaust hanger bracket, we're gonna be installing the end plates. So this is pretty simple. We're gonna use package G, and it is just 3 bolts and nuts, and it goes right there just like that. And that's how we're gonna finish off this install. And then I'm gonna install the front one. And now that it's kind of secure, I will get the nuts threaded on. Okay, so that was the install for the Aerofabb Competition Series Rear Diffuser. Just a couple of pointers that would help your install go as smoothly as possible is to, number one, make sure you have everything you need before installing it, from the hardware, the parts, and the tools. Just make sure you have everything ready to go so that there's no hiccups on those kind of things. Also, we're fortunate enough to use a quick jack, but this installation is doable on jack stands. A little tight, but doable. If you have an aftermarket exhaust, make sure to double check the fitment because sometimes not all exhausts are made the same. They're not all equal. Some may be wider, some may be smaller. So if it's wider, you may have to do some modifications to get it to fit. And that's about it. Everything's really straightforward. Aerofabb does an amazing job with the installation guide. So from start to finish, you'll have no issues as long as you follow the instructions to the T. Overall, it's always a good experience installing Aerofabb's products. Make sure to leave this video a thumbs up, leave a like, show support to the channel as we're gonna continue making content for Badgeskins. And also make sure to follow us and Aerofabb on Instagram. The links will be down below. And while you're at it, you might as well just subscribe to Aerofabb's YouTube channel. That will be linked down below. See you guys in the next one. Peace.